I'm really glad to see that more and more Fox News hosts are being confronted with the hypocrisy of their going completely crazy about the vaccine mandates that are being put in place by various companies, while not mentioning that Fox News itself actually has a stricter mandate than that which most companies have and that which was proposed by Joe Biden for companies of 100 or more employees. So yesterday we had this clip from Fox and Friends where they completely unbelievably said, we don't have a mandate. We have a protocol. We looked at the definition of the word mandate. We looked at the definition of the word protocol, and we determined they have both. It's the same thing. It's a distinction without a difference. It's a difference without a distinction. Whatever word or phrase you want to apply to it, it was BS, and it was not believable. Today, we're going to go and look at another one of these confrontations, and this one is with Tucker Carlson. Now, this one's really interesting because Tucker Carlson has been one of the most sort of prominent purveyors of the attacks on vaccine requirements, even saying the vaccines don't even really seem to work and the vaccines might have killed thousands of people and all these different things. Media Matters has a great article on this. Fox personalities trying to distance themselves from Fox's vaccine mandate, even though Fox News's requirements for unvaccinated workers are stricter than those recommended by the Biden administration. Network hosts continue to attack vaccination policies and compliance protocols. Fox personalities and guests have insisted the mandates and testing requirements are akin to Jim Crow laws, apartheid, eugenics, forced sterilization, and discrimination against those affected by HIV/AIDS. The Biden administration policies Fox has spent months demonizing require companies with 100 or more employees to ensure that staff is vaccinated or test weekly. Fox Corporation's policy is get vaccinated or test daily and enter your status into an online portal. More than 90% of Fox employees report being vaccinated. Okay, so now this is great. This is a clip from Save the Nation, Vince and Jason, and they bring this to Tucker Carlson. On October 13th, he does this maniacal laugh. Take a look at this.
Okay, so I have a question here about Fox News.
Yeah.
You said Fox News has no vaccine mandate, but according to Newsweek, the company requires unvaccinated employees to submit to daily COVID testing, which is stricter than Biden's mandate, which calls for weekly testing for businesses that employ more than 100 people. Is Fox News denying the civil liberties of its employees by being stricter than President Biden?
Fair.
I don't know. I mean, you should probably ask Newsweek. It sounds like they got a pretty precise handle on what's happening.
So that's not a serious answer. All right, but let's continue.
Hey, if it's wrong, let me know. If I'm wrong,
it's completely wrong, as I noted the other night.
Fair.
I'm not,
So what is the policy? Can you tell us the policy?
I'm not qualified to speak for the company on this.
But as an employee, so that's just BS. As an employee, he could speak to his understanding of the policy he's subjected to. I mean, he's subjected to the policy, so you don't have to speak for the company.
It's because I don't run the company, and I'm not, I'm just an employee of the company. My personal
Tell us, as an employee, the policy you've been subjected to and that you've agreed to.
Preference is that Fox News would, make a statement about what its policies are. But I think, like a lot of companies, they're hesitant to do that because, why would you even want to get involved in that conversation? Here's the bottom line. There are a lot of infectious diseases out there, and a lot with much higher mortality rates than COVID-19.
True.
And, there's HIV, of course, there's tuberculosis, of course, there are a bunch of different varieties of hepatitis, which have killed many hundreds of thousands of Americans over the years, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And employers are not empowered. In fact, they're not allowed to ask employees what their status is. Are you HIV positive? Really? Can you be should we test people?
So notice that this is now a Gish Gallop. Okay. There's no vaccine for HIV, first and foremost. Okay. Secondly, we're talking about asking employees vaccination status, not disease status. Number three, HIV is far less contagious than COVID. It's a sexually transmitted disease. I hope people understand the way in which this is a verbal ink blot. There's no real substantive answer here.
Based on their sexual
But
practice.
HIV isn't a communicable disease in the
okay.
same way. Like you
Oh,
can't
really?
you can't sneeze on somebody and give them HIV.
Right.
At least,
HIV has killed tens of millions.
oh yeah,
of
no,
people.
Now that's a different, now notice how the goalposts are different. The death toll of HIV over 40 years now is different than how contagious it is. It also, I mean, you can't just walk by someone and they sneeze and you have HIV. This is really, I don't think Tucker is this stupid. So I think this is just bad faith.
I don't doubt that, but you can't,
And
it's
it
not
is
a
very-
communicable disease in the same way. You have to
Well, it's
have
very
sex
much-
or share blood, correct?
Well, sure. At which point
But
you transmit it, so it is by definition communicable.
Yeah,
And-
but
He
it's
said it's not communicable in the same way, and he's right.
not in
I'm
this
looking-
communicable in the same
I'm-
way.
I'm-
That's my point.
Just to be clear, I am totally opposed to asking anybody his HIV status at work.
So now look at what he's doing. It's really a clinic in disinformation. Now Tucker is saying he's against the thing he mentioned, which is not even analogous to COVID vaccination status. He now says he said COVID vaccination status is analogous to asking HIV status. And he's not saying ask people HIV status. We're not even talking about the same thing anymore. The first question was, doesn't your company have a stricter policy than the one Biden suggests, which Tucker got out of by saying, listen, I don't speak for Fox News.
I'm totally opposed to asking his prostate cancer status or what.
Prostate cancer. Now we're in Lulu, loony land. With prostate cancer, HIV is communicable through sexual contact, sexual fluids, blood. Now with prostate cancer, what are we even talking about? This has nothing to do with medical privacy.
His, latest blood sugar levels are. I mean, we have HIPAA laws for a reason. So I'm hired to do a job.
And now raising HIPAA. HIPAA has absolutely nothing to do with this whatsoever. So look at the way in which Tucker is unable to give any serious answer. Fox's policy is stricter than the one Biden proposes. Tucker first says, I don't speak for Fox News. No, but you're an employee. You could tell us what they told you. You could tell us what decision you made about going with it in order to continue working there. That's number one. He doesn't answer. Then he goes into HIV. Then he goes into HIV status versus vaccination status, then prostate cancer, then HIPAA. This is not about HIPAA. HIPAA has to do with the transmission of medical records and privacy by medical providers. We're off the deep end, folks. So look at how quickly he fell apart under just basic questioning. One of our sponsors is Sheath Underwear. It is the hottest part of the year right now. If you're a guy who wears traditional underwear, you know about the sticking and the rubbing and the chafing. Not something you have to worry about with Sheath Underwear, which is designed with multiple ergonomic compartments in the front, which prevent skin-on-skin contact, keeping everything separate, dry, cool, and comfortable. Sheath actually just re-released 2 limited edition styles, the Flower of Life, featuring a stylish enamoring flower pattern and bold geometric waistband. The other limited edition style is the Mesh Airflow, specially designed to be lightweight and promote extra coolness and breathability. Sheath Underwear was designed by an Iraq War veteran who was looking for a way to keep himself dry and comfortable in the hot desert. And the underwear he developed ended up being perfect for just about any context in everyday use. Sheath Underwear is giving my viewers 20% off when you go to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and use the promo code Pacman.